Alrighty.
All
So
right.
here we are.
Here we
Dominic
are.
Layko, welcome, sir. Welcome back to the Luke Papala Show. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I appreciate you having me back on.
Yeah, bro. There's a lot that's happened in the world since you've last been on.
Yeah. When did we record last? That had to be months and months ago, right?
It might have been 5 months ago.
Yeah.
It was me, you, and Shide.
Yeah. That was last semester too. I remember. That was
Yeah.
toward the end of last semester.
Yeah, you have one of our most liked Instagram reels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the kid where Shide went to high school at, trying to suck his own
Yeah.
to suck his own dick.
I remember that.
Yeah, and of course you freaked out, which prompted why it blew up.
Yeah. That was so disgusting.
I think it was kind of fun. It was kind of
Oh,
fun
it was
to
funny
hear,
as fuck.
to hear the
but
story. Yeah,
It was funny to hear the story, but at the same time, it's just so fucked up.
I mean, of course, yeah. Speaking of fucked up, somebody got a mugshot recently.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, Donnie.
Donnie, good old Donald.
What do we think about that mugshot from Donnie?
That's gonna be the most notorious mugshot to ever hit the face of the planet.
Bro, I said the same shit. Right up there with Hendrix.
Yeah.
Gotta be right up there. What are other just infamous celebrity mugshots?
I've seen Snoop Dogg before.
Snoop Dogg.
Tupac. I've
Yeah.
seen that one.
I feel like there's a Biggie one too.
They're probably
Not the profile.
I don't know. I don't remember if Biggie got in much trouble back in.
Who
But then
else?
again, I wasn't around for that
Yeah.
time.
NWA.
Did they?
They had to have had one. Bro, they were in so much trouble. 'Cause
They were.
They were the ones that started it.
Yeah, they were.
I'm trying to think who. Nixon should have had one.
Nixon.
Nixon should have had one.
You really want to rattle off all the presidents that should have mugshots? I can give you.
Well, we'll rattle off presidents in a second. But yeah. What do you think about that Trump mugshot, man?
I mean, it's fire.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw that. I'm like, you got to be fucking shitting me. They actually did it.
I have a complaint though. They took it too high.
Yeah,
It
I
should have
agree.
been eye level.
Mhm.
That would have been more iconic. But the one we have is fine.
Yeah,
It's
fine.
okay.
Oh, another notorious one, Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Of course. How do we forget that?
That dude is smiling right into the camera.
Which I think personally, I mean, I had a neighbor that got arrested.
Mhm.
Well, not her house, but her mugshot. She was smiling. I just think what an asshole thing to do, you know?
Yeah, but
I mean, unless you're like Pablo Escobar.
yeah,
But
Pablo Escobar had the cops in his pocket, so he didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
If you're like a criminal that's like kill people or like touch kids, like but like if you're smiling, I just think you deserve to rot in hell. Personally,
I agree.
I'm sorry if that sounded like I'm empathizing with them. I'm not.
Yeah, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I've always hated people who smiled in mugshots. It's just like, you're such a cocky asshole. Like,
Yeah.
you're so arrogant. Like, you still think you're above the law, even though you're going to be behind bars real soon. I hate that.
But Trump,
Trump is dead center staring at that camera. He's like, fuck with me. I fucking dare you.
yeah. That's going to be an interesting election. What do you think about that? What do you think about the presidential candidates on the Republican side?
Personally, I like them all. Well, not every single
Yeah.
one. I know... I mean, I know people know who I'm going to vote for either way, Mr. Mugshot himself.
It'll be something interesting.
Yes, it will be. But I do think the Republican side does have plenty of good candidates. Vivette, that young guy,
Yup.
he is so polarizing.
Have you read his book?
No.
Yeah.
He has a book out?
Mm-hmm, there's a couple. I bought the most recent one. It's called Woke Inc.
Okay.
It's basically him, because I think like he knew at that point that he was going to run for president, so he put out a book. I learned a lot about him, and I think he has 6 siblings or 5. He's from Cincinnati, and his father is an immigrant from India.
Okay.
And he was talking about how every summer his father would bring him, I believe his mom and his siblings, to this village that they grew up in India, and it allowed him to really appreciate like America and capitalism too.
Yeah.
He's a big capitalist. He's a billionaire. He sold his first company, and I think he's still a CEO. I'm not too sure.
That I'm not sure about, but I
He might have
forget.
stepped down as a CEO, but he's still the owner.
Yeah.
But 38 billionaire, very successful. I love his anti-establishment
I
rhetoric.
love that.
Oh my gosh.
I do love that, and I think having someone that young, what is he, like
38.
Yeah,
38.
having someone that young, I mean, obviously not super young, but
Yeah.
younger than all the old people in fucking Congress and the Senate.
It's crazy because it's him And then it's like DeSantis is like the next,
Yeah.
the oldest after that.
I was big for a while on DeSantis,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, some of the stuff he's pulled, like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not.
Here's my opinion on DeSantis. If you're like a Republican, if you're like a conservative, I think he's great on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great for like those 30-second, like 1 minute like clips.
Mm-hmm.
Very good on that.
When he stands up at the podium, he looks presidential.
Yeah, definitely. The way his delivery and stuff. But when he's in a debate with other people and he's just interacting, I'm not gonna lie, man, he comes off weird.
He does. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like you said, it's
Winnie
weird.
the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. That's what he
Yeah.
comes off as to me, is Winnie the Pooh. A little bit soft.
He's not going to, like, if you look at the 2020 debate between like Biden and Trump, they were ripping each other's heads off. DeSantis, I can't see doing that, like, in a debate.
I feel like he could, but a lot of people have called him like baby Trump.
Yeah.
He's not Trump at all, though.
No,
You know what
I don't
mean?
think he is.
I think it just depends. Because, like, throughout the past couple of years, however long he's been governor of Florida, 3 years, 4 years now.
Something like that.
He's been, anti-woke.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if you really pay attention to the Republican debate for president, none of them mentioned being woke at all.
Mm-hmm.
None of them.
Yeah.
Which was quite crazy. How, like, everybody, Vivek, something that I don't understand. He was talking about anti-woke, and the whole book, Woke Inc., is about being anti-woke and about how,
Yes.
like, woke corporations and stuff, how that's not good. But, like, nobody talked about it.
Nobody is going to talk about. I think DeSantis capitalized on an opportunity when
Yeah.
he was doing all that stuff, and I'm not going to say whether it was right or wrong.
Yeah.
I'll keep my opinion on that to myself on what he did down in Florida. But at the same time, at that point in time in America, that's when the woke culture, like, in schools and
Yeah.
like, you know, from K through fucking 7th grade, that's when that shit was happening and that
Yeah.
movement was starting. I think DeSantis, I think he was going to run anyway, but I feel like that sort of stuff gave him an incentive to, and
Yeah.
especially after everything that he did in Florida. I mean, it was like a prime moment for a Republican candidate to do something like that, to
Yeah.
go against the anti-woke, like, propaganda in a way.
It makes sense. Somebody had to do it, and somebody was going to do it regardless of what party it is. I just think it was more likely that it would have been Republican. But yeah, you're right. I don't know. Like, I really loved his stuff going against COVID. Whether or not you think it was reckless, it's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think his spotlight's dimming. He's on the decline, I think.
Yeah. And for a long time, I thought, DeSantis, like, just watching the early...
Joe Rogan was saying DeSantis.
Yeah. Like, everyone was saying
Yeah.
DeSantis. But the more I watched him, I'm like, yeah, I still wouldn't vote for him. Sorry.
I don't like what he says about marijuana legalization. He's not,
I haven't heard that one.
So he's opposed just for the sole fact that it smells weird. He doesn't like the smell.
That's it?
And, like, yeah, like, I'm very critical of politicians. I believe DeSantis is a career politician. He's not an outsider.
Yeah.
I follow a bunch of different media outlets, not the traditional ones, not the legacy media. So, like, the Young Turks, Kyle Kalinske show. Those are both, like,
Do you follow the Daily Wire? Like, do you know what that entails?
Yeah, so
Ben Shapiro.
Who else? Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. So literally right there, those are two left leaning, and then Breaking Points is like right in the middle, and then Daily Wire is right leaning. So, like, there's a mix of everything, and I love that.
Yeah. Difference of opinions.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we talked
yeah.
about on my show before.
Exactly, man. And as somebody who grew up in, like, a conservative leaning household, obviously you have those right wing ideas already in you. But
Correct.
after COVID, man, I learned not to trust any politician. So, like, now I'm trying to find the opposite side.
Yeah, I get what you mean in that. I mean, I was raised the same way,
Yeah.
more of a conservative level household, but I wouldn't say after COVID it made me lean more one way or another, but it definitely made me mistrust politicians even more. I already didn't trust them because they're so fucking shady, like all of them are.
Of course.
If anybody says, like, no politician is corrupt or this one is,
They're lying.
Lying. Like, everyone is corrupt, no matter how small. Like, someone knows something about something.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what the issue I have with more people that support Democrats, I would say, because a lot of them are so, like, pro big government.
yes.
When it comes to problems, it's less personal responsibility, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but less personal responsibility, and it's more like, oh, the government can fix it.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in government for like the simple stuff,
Yeah.
paving roads, taxes to an extent.
Right? I was about to say, let's pump the brakes a little bit on that one.
Libraries, teachers,
institutions,
schools, things that we need in society.
Yeah.
But I don't know, when it comes to things like, I don't know, a good example would be a new building
what is taught in schools.
Well, I was even going to say a new building in like a park, whatever. Something basic, street level, something that you might not need.
Yeah. Even renovating your home, you still have to talk with your local government.
Yeah.
About, I mean.
Okay, so we had, not to interrupt you, I was kind of
you're
piggybacking. Good. We got a pool, okay, above ground pool, whatever, and we decided to build a deck. And my mom didn't think anything of it. So last year, the deck was built, and it was like in the winter, right? And sure enough, we have a fence, but it's like a chain link fence.
Yeah.
So you could see through. And sure enough, she got a letter from zoning saying, you didn't get a permit for this deck. Well, it shouldn't matter because this is my private property.
This is our property. We own it.
And that's what pisses me off. The government infringing on your rights, even a little bit, which is why I tend to lean libertarian on a lot of issues.
I don't believe in government overreach.
I don't either. And that's once again, that's my one gripe with the Democratic Party per se. I think they have a lot of good issues, a lot of issues that can win. But I feel like when it comes to like those things, like that's when I tend to fall back.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think back when you bring this stuff up about government overreaches, I think back to the 2020 election with Biden, and it was a clip I saw of Biden and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was talking about, the government is here and we're here to help you guys. Whereas I love this. It's what something President Reagan said when he was up at the podium, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
I've heard that before, yeah.
I mean, it's just baffling. And, people are going to scrutinize Reagan a little bit because he's done some stuff, but...
No politician's perfect.
No politician is clean at all.
No.
They've all done some stuff.
And so I have another question for you. What do you think it's like? Because I want to interview somebody that's been in it and then not in it anymore. And that's what I was hoping that Tucker would ask Trump, which we could talk about that and why he didn't debate. But, like, what do you think it's like when you run, say, like, as a Trump or as somebody like an AOC, just like outsiders?
Any
right?
previous president or, like, genuine outsiders?
People that run as, like, outsiders with, like, outlandish opinions.
So it would be Trump.
Like a Trump.
That's
or
the
like,
best I can relate
Or like from the
to.
Democratic Party, like an AOC with like these like crazy opinions. Or like a Bernie Sanders, okay?
Yeah.
And you run with these outlandish outsider opinions that, not a lot of people will agree with in D.C.
Yeah.
Maybe they're popular with people voting for you, but, you never know. And say, I'm not going to take any money from lobbyists. I'm going to strictly do this, based off how I ran, and I'm not going to be corrupt.
Yeah.
But then you get there, and
the money lines up.
We know they all are insider trading.
Of course,
it's there. You can see it.
Nancy Pelosi I'm pretty sure got busted for it.
Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah.
The woman's 92 with a net worth of like 200 million.
Yeah.
And it's like
she didn't get that money from working her ass off all those years. I'm sorry.
I think it's like $300,000 that you make as a senator.
Yeah, and
maybe a little bit more.
Maybe, but multiply that. I don't know how much exactly. How many times you have to multiply that to get to 200 million? But guess what? It ain't.
That woman's 92.
Lifetime.
She's been serving for at least 40 years.
Yeah, she didn't make $200 million within
way.
Just being a senator.
No fucking way.
Absolutely not.
You're telling me she knew all those stock picks?
Fuck no.
She's the one voting on all these decisions. A month before it happened. You can't tell me that she didn't know.
Oh, she knew.
It's bullshit.
A lot of them know.
Bullshit.
I don't believe, and this is a take from me, I don't think if you are in public office, maybe not like so much, being a mayor or a governor.
Yeah.
But if you're in the Senate, if you're in the Congress, you should not be allowed to trade.
I would go one step further, and I would say anything, any position. I don't care what level, because if it's at the main, the just highest branch of government, like a representative or a senator, then why wouldn't it extend to like a state representative or a state senator or even a mayor, anybody with a big position of power? I don't know how you would define it, but I think
that's a slippery slope. I mean, where do you draw the line at that sense? But for me at least, I don't know where exactly you would draw that line. But for me, I've always been, the higher ups, like the Senate, the Congress,
definitely
the president, the vice president, like none of them should be able to do this.
And so what do you think when you have somebody like a Bernie Sanders, whether or not you agree with the ideas, but he's somebody who perceives himself as, not controlled by anybody, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of if he is or not, say there's any politician, right? How do you avoid that?
How do you avoid it?
I think it's inevitable. Eventually you become corrupt.
Eventually I feel like you would give into it. Here's what I would say about that. Those who could resist it and continue to resist it would be the guys like Donald Trump, where they have billions in their bank account they can fund themselves if they wanted to.
Or
if
Vivek.
Or Vivek.
Yeah.
Like any of those guys, they can run by themselves alone. Like they can fund their own campaigns. They wouldn't have to do anything else.
But I have such a hard time believing in people like Trump. Maybe Vivek. We don't know a lot about Vivek yet. But like the national debt increased by 7.8 trillion under Trump. Now, granted, I think it's like 3.8 or 4 trillion was because of COVID and the stimulus money. But still, what about the other 4? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know a lot of that went to the wall. I'm not exactly sure where everything else get.
Not sure either.
But however, I would argue the other point of look how much it's raised since Biden took office.
Oh, it's relatively the same.
Yeah. Relatively the same. It's gone up.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's gone up.
Oh no, I'm talking about like Trump had 7.8. I think it's around that it went up. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let's look.
Well, I know Biden has been throwing money around like no one's fucking business. Like it's his own, like the fucking U.S. is his own personal piggy bank.
Hold on. I agree. Let's see here. So national debt, Biden. Because we know Trump's. Okay, so hold on. Let's do.
I love that one article, $1 trillion deficits, Biden's new normal.
Yeah. Let's get this recording here because I forgot we could do this.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There we go. Beautiful.
I still think that's fucking funny.
All right, so let's ask the internet.
Because the internet knows all.
I know. How much has the national debt raised
since
under
Biden?
Okay. Okay, his no, I don't want to know that. Here we go. Okay, so this is from 2022.
Okay. So we're not that far off.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, Miami Herald. This is in 2022. I cannot find a number.
Keep scrolling. They put all the good stuff at the bottom of all the articles.
Yeah, so
news outlets.
It says right here that the Biden administration has enacted policies through legislation and executive actions that will add more than 4.8 trillion to deficits between 2021 and 2023, or nearly 2.5 trillion when excluding the effects of the American Rescue Plan. In comparison, the federal debt rose around 7.8 trillion, which we said, under then President Trump in his 4 years in office, and 8.6 trillion under then President Barack Obama in his 8 years in office. 5 presidents with the largest percentage in the increase in federal debt during their presidencies, according to the data analyzed by financial news site The Balance, which is credible, I believe. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1,048%. Woodrow Wilson, 723%. Ronald Reagan, 186%.
Yeah, Reagan's up there.
George W. Bush, 101%, and Obama, 74%.
Why does that not surprise me?
Okay, so around there. But let's end this real quick. What's crazy to me,
these politicians throw money around like it's no one's fucking business.
But bro, when's it gonna stop? Who is going to run, like, you know who Ron Paul is?
Yeah.
Traditionally libertarian, but he ran as a Republican. He was a Republican for however many years. I think he was a representative, not sure, though. He might have been a senator. But he was all about, decreasing the national debt. And even Rand Paul, his son, too. senator out of Kentucky. I know he's not a representative, but same thing. Reducing the national debt. Like, what are we doing? Why do we? This is going to be. I don't think this is controversial. I think a lot of people have this opinion, but like, why are we giving all this money to Ukraine? It doesn't make sense to me. This is kind of like, this isn't even a right-wing opinion. I feel like this is more of a left-wing opinion because it allows.
I think this is just a general opinion about what should be done, what's right.
Nobody wants Russians to be killed. Nobody wants Ukrainians to be killed. I'm not talking about the people that are fighting in the armies.
Yeah.
The people that have no stake in it, that if a bomb drops on, they don't have any control.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I'm talking about. Like, nobody wants those people to die. Why would you want war?
Well,
you know,
remember what we talked about on my.
That's true.
It all boils back to that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know where I'm getting at with that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I mean,
we already have a strike. We already have a strike.
Well, if you get wars, you know, the more there is use for, you know, at the end of the war, there's land that needs occupation and stuff like that. You know, you got guys like. You got big companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, I mean, that are investing in everything.
What's the guy's name? Larry Fink?
Larry Fink.
Yeah.
That is, and I love how on Joe Rogan's show, Patrick Bet-David, he's a entrepreneur, came to this country. He's an immigrant.
We did talk about this, yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about it. But he went on Joe Rogan's show and talked about who's really the commander-in-chief. And
it's sad.
All signs are pointing like that's who it would be, is Larry Fink. Because he's the CEO of BlackRock. They have $10 trillion worth of assets. All public, by the way.
Yeah, you can look it all up. We don't have any power to do anything about it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we're living in right now. And I don't know I really don't know how you combat that. I do remember a video I saw about, I think it was Warren Buffett was telling this reporter on how he could eliminate the national debt. And
I've seen that.
I forget the exact number, but if the national debt raises by a certain percentage, or if inflation is at a certain percentage, you get booted out of office under your tenure.
I think that makes the most sense.
I agree.
Because right now, I don't think we're holding our politicians accountable for jack shit.
No, we don't.
We're not able to. You could call it like American laziness. You could also call it the constant changing news cycle. Yeah. That's why this show will never run out of shit to talk about, because like there's so much. Thank God for the 24-hour news cycle, man. So much shit. We could just have a podcast talking about Florida shit that happens.
Oh,
just
100%.
Florida, man.
Do you want to talk about, we can just start a show about everything wrong in Ohio.
We can. But then I'd sound like a complainer.
I'm going to bitch and complain about this shit anyway. I mean, we still got construction going on.
Yeah. I mean, this is the podcasting campus, by the way.
It is.
This is, something that, everybody in the back is they're just background actors. That's all they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're being paid. Anyway.
Paid by my money.
I want to talk about
bitch.
So who do you think is going to win the election then?
I do think it'll come down to Biden and Trump again, but I do think Trump will win.
I think Trump's going to win too.
Here's the problem. Like, Vivek and DeSantis, they got no chance to get any of the, hardcore Trump supporters. They are all in on Trump, especially after what just happened, how they're trying to indict him on everything. You will never swing a hardcore Trump to another candidate.
I mean, the fact that he tweeted, by the way, he's using Twitter again. Trump is using Twitter again.
I think he got out within, is he still in prison? Or did he get out?
I'm not sure, but he tweeted for the first time since January 6th. And he said, I will be arrested at 7:30, which is actually wrong. He was arrested at 9:30, but maybe there was a difference in the time between Georgia.
Time zones.
Whatever, yeah.
It is a different time zone, I believe. Yeah.
And then his account tweeted the mugshot. And
That's
it's like
funny.
the goat of Twitter. Make no mistake about it.
Oh, the goat of Twitter, 100%.
Make no mistake about it. He's the goat of Twitter.
Absolutely.
He's back.
The man is back in town.
and so now that he's back, like, what happens now?
I think he wins. That's the thing. But, and I knew it was going to be a close race, no matter and opinions of whether the election was stolen or not. Like,
I don't think it was. Anyway.
I don't know. I'll keep mine to myself, but you already know. But I thought it was going to be a close race no matter what back in 2020 because...
Me too.
People were already pissed off about Trump and some of the things he did, you know, at least some of the Democratic-leaning people in the United States. But I also believe that, you know, Biden in a way was a breath of fresh air for the Democratic Party.
A lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, so I do think it'll come down to those two again. But I do not understand, like, if, and I'm not going to scrutinize anyone for being a Biden supporter if they support Biden.
No.
I just am really curious as to how and why still. Like, I mean, what is it about him that is still, like, gaining your support? And
you know the answer. He's not Trump.
Yes, and here, this is why I hate politics in the United States. A lot of people will vote based on, you know, who they hate. Why would you vote based on who you hate? Vote who would best fit the country.
And a lot of people don't vote at all.
And I agree with that. If you don't vote, like, you have no right to bitch, in my opinion. Like, just don't bitch. You, in a way, like, it's weird because I still don't think my vote means that much in the grand scheme of things.
A lot of people think that.
A lot of people think that. But at the same time, you know, it's my right, so I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are so dedicated to voting against, you know, just a politician they hate. Like, I don't like Biden because of everything that he's done. I'm not beholden to a Republican Party or a Democratic Party. I'm beholden to someone I think could actually run this country right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, there is a Democratic candidate I would vote for.
Yeah.
And it's
RFK.
RFK.
I'd vote for him.
That dude, he knows his shit.
And he's not scared.
No.
He's publicly expressed how, like, he knows, like, there's a chance that if shit was to pop in his political career, that there's a chance that he could get taken out. He knows
there's
that.
Always that chance. Like, we know. But, you know, I just found him, like, it was interesting. I didn't know he was running for the longest time, but he was on, I don't remember what show he was on. He was talking to someone, but the way he went after Big Pharma, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually doing it.
And he was suing the companies too.
Yeah.
And winning.
He when you talked about, I believe it was on one of your previous episodes, or
it was with Andrew Hardenbrook, I think.
Yeah, I watched that. It was where, you know, you talked about Big Pharma, like, publicly, like, losing all this stuff. And, you know, it's kind of funny. Like, RFK, he's the one doing it. He was the man behind those wins.
Yeah.
It's like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
He's a true climate activist too. He's not like these people that you'll see.
Greta Thunberg.
I mean, you could say what you want about Greta. Me personally, like, I work outside all day, right?
Yeah.
And so when you get, like, those 95-degree days, you know, she starts to make more sense. I'm not gonna lie, she starts to make more sense.
I guess.
You know, but like a true climate activist, he cleaned up the Hudson River. It wasn't just him, but he was, like, leading the charge for, like, cleaning up the Hudson River. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure now, like, you're able to swim in it and stuff like that. Where before,
believe so.
Where before, like, it was too toxic.
Yeah.
With all the pollution and stuff like that. Like, a true climate activist, putting your mind to it, putting your money where your mouth is, because I would assume, you know, a lot of just this activism, if you want to call it activism.
I mean, it basically is.
Yeah,
I mean,
all this stuff came from his pocket. A lot of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he founded the charity. I'm not too sure, but regardless, he put a lot of time and effort into it.
Oh,
and
100%.
I would assume a lot of money. And so
he's reaped the benefits of that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
he was out in the front lines dealing with all these issues.
And, like, he's not a bad candidate. Like, there's full transparency. He'll tell people he was a heroin addict for, like, 13 years.
Yeah.
And
he's old. Like, I get it.
But bro, he's fucking jacked. 69, the perfect number, by the way. 69, my favorite number. He's 69 years old, and he was doing incline bench.
This dude was jacked
with his shirt off.
Fuck.
Bigger chest than me.
Not than me.
He's got bigger chest than me. 100%.
Maybe.
100%. Like,
he's definitely one jacked motherfucker.
Yeah, that, like, a leader of men. And I love, like, his messages too. He seems like a uniter.
Yeah, rather than a divider.
Yeah, he talks
and I see a lot of candidates, or at least, you know, I hate to keep going back to our president right now, but he's a divider. He's not a uniter.
Yeah.
You know, how are we supposed to care about all these issues when you constantly bash both sides like, to everything?
And you call people on the right domestic terrorists.
Like, that's not the
doesn't
case.
make sense
Just
to me.
because you lean a conservative side doesn't make you a fucking domestic terrorist.
Like he ran on Build Back Better, but I would argue that we're worse off.
We are 100% worse off.
And he ran as somebody that was going to be a uniter.
Yeah.
But I feel like
you don't leave.
I feel like he hasn't even attempted to be a uniter.
No, you don't leave our equipment, our military equipment, in abandoned bases over to the Taliban. You don't support other countries such as Ukraine over our home, like the United States and Maui, Hawaii, who to my knowledge right now still hasn't gotten any governmental support really.
Here's the conspiracy with that.
If anything, Biden can be convicted of treason.
Why hasn't any of Oprah's land been touched by the wildfires in Maui? She's got like hundreds of acres of land in Maui that haven't been touched. Okay.
Please tell me you're lying.
And there's something else. There's another conspiracy before we go and fact check ourselves and I just proved that I'm full of shit. There was a conspiracy that a bunch of different celebrities that had property in Maui. So I think it was like Oprah, Brad Pitt, Kid Rock. However long ago, they painted the roofs of their properties and their houses blue. And allegedly, if this conspiracy is true, all of these houses or properties with the blue roof painted, have not been touched. Now here's another conspiracy. There is a thought that whether it be the government or some secret group that rules over all of us has not a death ray, but like a weather machine. And they can control if you want to go deep down the rabbit hole, which,
that's tough. I mean,
take it with a grain of salt. But that's the idea, because allegedly these houses with the blue roofs haven't been touched by the Maui wildfire. Let's look this up so I don't get banned.
That's actually like crazy to me. Like, oh man.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know whether it's like nothing nowadays surprises me anymore. So like, could I believe it? Sure. Could I think it's a stupid ass conspiracy theory that probably won't pan out to anything in the long run? Yeah, I can see all that. So in a way,
here we go. SK Pop. What the hell is that? I don't even know. We're going to hold on. Let's screen record this. Capture.
What the fuck is this website?
Take it with a grain of salt. This is a conspiracy website, probably. Okay, so this is SK Pop, and it's called Dystopian Land Grab. The FEMA Operation Blue Roof Theory Conspiracy Emerges in the Wake of Maui Wildfires. Okay, so if you guys see, right, it's a blue roof. Now they put like taping, so they didn't paint it, but they put this blue taping on the roof. As Hawaii officials released a list of 338 missing people, many continue to conspire about FEMA playing a role in the deadly Maui wildfires. Conspiracy theorists now believe that the Federal Emergency Management Agency is trying to control the land of several residents with Operation Blue Roof that allows the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to use a plastic sheet to prevent further property damage. On August 26, 2023, Twitter user Red Pill Drifter took to the platform site and shared a video of a Corps member explaining Operation Blue Roof. He revealed that a polyurethane sheet is used to prevent rain damage to homes and provide temporary protection for the roofs of residential structures damaged during severe weather. He also revealed that the sheets are installed by contractors who are overseen by the Corps of Engineers according to certain specifications. And so it has like people on Twitter talking about it. It says residents are not...
That's so weird to me and so bizarre.
The residents are not required to pay for the blue roof that is provided by FEMA. It's also worth noting that the people who opt for the program must sign a right of entry, ROE form, which is a legal requirement that allows the Corps workers to gain access and work on the property. And people are finding it peculiar that the residents had to sign the form. Okay, here we go. So here's why this is a conspiracy. Operation Blue Roof has been tied to the infamous directed energy weapons, the DEW conspiracy theory. Those who believe the latter claim that the high energy lasers and other high power electromagnetics were used to destroy the current land and subsequently create a smart city in the future. So it's called a Blucifer theory, and it went viral because of this Operation Blue Roof.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theorist Uriel, I don't know, took to Twitter and said Operation Blue Roof was satanic in nature. He attached an image that claimed that the blue color has code 666 as per the Vista Paint Colors collection. For those unversed, the number 666 obviously related to Satan. The platform user also noted that the wavelength of the color blue is 450 to 495 nanometers. I don't know, and you could correct me. And when this is converted to hertz, it would be 666 terahertz. And so then the conspiracy theorist explained Lucifer by saying, Blue Mustang at the Denver International Airport / United Nations will running the FEMA camps. Take that. I mean, that's not correct English, but whatever.
We still don't know whether that is true at all. I mean,
no, nobody knows. But this is all allegedly. That's what I'm saying. He also alleged that the Lucius Trust, an arcane school that prays to Lucifer, played a role in the formation of the United Nations. It seems like he was hinting to that the United Nations had satanic intentions by overlooking FEMA, who are attempting to salvage Maui. Conspiracy theorists went on to allege that Bill Gates was a Lucius Trust donor. You can find that out. He also noted that the Obama family, Clintons, Hanks, Oprah, and Ellen DeGeneres, and Kid Rock. Okay, so real quick, here's what we're going to clip. In Maui, Bill Gates, Obama, Clintons. Okay, so Tom Hanks, Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, and Kid Rock. So this is not a left-wing thing. Kid Rock is right-wing. Had painted their Maui residence roofs blue, which only added to the raging conspiracy theories. So as direct energy weapons threats continued to take the internet by storm, officials have debunked the claim. So this is all alleged. Nobody has any proof of this.
Allegedly.
Jeff Hickman, a spokesperson for the state of Hawaii Department of Defense, confirmed with USA Today that there was no truth to the viral DEW claim. Okay, so this is false.
Either way, it's something to think about. I mean, it just goes to show, like,
false.
Yeah.
and I'm sorry for that word salad if I can't read or whatever.
It just goes to show, like, anything can become a conspiracy. Like,
yeah.
This is why I hate the internet.
Yeah.
In a way, I hate it. I can't trust it.
The whole Big Mike shit that we talked about last episode.
Oh my God, that was
false.
False, big time. I just don't that's why I just live my life.
Yeah.
I don't, I just hate it all.
Because these conspiracies, I mean, like, there's a little bit of truth when platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what up, TikTok, like they remove the content if you're talking about conspiracy, because this might be harmful. There are people, maybe it's not harmful for you to take in, but you don't know what kind of, like, rebel groups, militias could be.
You don't know
like,
what kind of reactions you'll get out of people.
Exactly. So that's the thing, and I completely get that.
I get it.
I feel like that's a little bit dystopian.
Yeah. Do I believe any of that shit? I don't know. I don't know whether I do or not.
I do want to check one thing, though.
Like I said before, like, when it comes to really any conspiracy theory, like, can I believe it? Sure. Do I usually? I don't know. It's just so weird to me. Like, I try not to read in too much to everything, just because, like, the more you do that, the more you're just going to drive yourself insane. Like, there's layers upon layers upon layers of shit you have to look up. And I honestly just don't have the time or the patience to deal with that, if we're being real.
Okay, so to debunk the claim that I brought on earlier, the Maui wildfire damages Oprah Winfrey's estate worth over $6.6 million.
I wish I had $6.6 million.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of money.
But the wildfires, okay, so we're done with that.
Okay, so it did get affected.
Yeah, the wildfires did affect. Okay, so
theory debunked.
That exactly. That is why we have the computer right here.
That just also goes to show, look how much, like, people are so full of shit too.
And that's why I am so glad that we're finally fact checking everything on the show, because you don't know how much bullshit I've said. Too much.
Yeah,
too much.
I get it, but like I said, there's just so much bullshit that comes out nowadays. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what to believe anymore. Yeah. Could I believe it? Yes. But do I often? No, because at the end of the day, like, we just did it within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We debunked that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's full of shit.
Exactly. And a lot of our presidents and politicians are full of shit too.
Yes.
I wanted to segue real quick because we've been talking about this. I want to do a top 5 presidents draft.
Okay.
And so it'll be like snakes. So you go first, and then I'll go, and then.
So does that mean I cannot pick any that you pick.
Yeah, and vice versa. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could bring out your phone, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Or if you have them in your head, because I certainly have a couple ideas, but I want to see what you do first.
So okay, for my top pick.
Yeah, this is the top 5 president's draft. So here we go.
Washington.
Okay.
George Washington.
Explanation.
Founded the country. Father of our nation.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Okay. George Washington. Number 1 for me will be Abraham Lincoln.
That was my next one.
Emancipation Proclamation allowed the slaves to be freed.
Yep.
Obviously, it didn't happen right then, but still, one of the greatest presidents we've ever had.
I think, I know before we jump more into it, I know Ben Shapiro did a tier list of presidents. Yeah. He put only 2 in the S tier, like superior, and one of them was Lincoln and Washington.
Yeah.
So in a way, Ben Shapiro would agree with us. Ben, I want to come on your platform.
Good and a bad thing.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, number 2. Oh, this is tough because you just took my second. Oh man.
You got to know a decent amount about presidents, which I think you do.
Yeah, for the most part, I do. I'm just really trying to. Oh God, I'm gonna catch so much hate for that one. All right, so we're going off our personal favorites.
Yeah.
I should have went Lincoln first, but okay. I'll take Trump. I'll be honest, like the shit he did for our economy in that time that he was president.
Listen. Life was good.
I get it.
Life was good, but like 7.8 trillion of the national debt. I don't think it was very conservative to give the American people stimulus money. I understand.
That's a take right there.
That was not conservative at all. That was actually the opposite thing of conservative.
I know.
That was very, very liberal. That was very much governmental overreach.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of that. None of the people in my family used that money because we figured that they would tax us, which they kind of do with inflation.
Yeah.
But
sometimes that's not even directly their fault.
It served its purpose. Okay, it stimulated the economy, but like a lot of people were buying like flat screen TVs and shit that they didn't really need.
I didn't use my money for that.
Yeah, but then again, it still stimulated the economy because people were buying shit. So I guess it worked, but not very conservative.
It's funny. Stimulus check, paid off my credit card. Government paying the government.
And there we have it.
That's so funny.
So Trump at number 2.
I would put Trump at 2. For me, at least, personally.
The orange man is at number 2.
Mr. Mugshot King.
Mr. Mugshot King. All right. Speaking of shot, give me JFK at number 2. That man, like,
damn it, man.
All jokes aside, JFK, one of the most anti-war presidents that we've ever had. His whole opposition to the Vietnam War.
He handled the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Like a G.
That
and
dude.
Wasn't he the one that was responsible for us pulling out of Vietnam? Was that right? Or no? Am I incorrect? I know he was definitely against it for sure.
He was against going there, but I believe it was Lyndon B. Johnson who took us out of it.
You're right.
Eventually.
Right.
Okay, so
very anti-war, and they killed him for it. And he was I think the first Catholic president in the history of the United States. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure on that one.
But
either.
he was either 1 or 2. But the theory about he had Marilyn Monroe killed, the conspiracy there.
I don't know how true
I don't know.
is.
I don't know about that, but he definitely slept with a lot of women.
Oh, 100%. He was a womanizer.
The man was not perfect at all, but in terms of his opposition,
he was like
to
Oppenheimer.
War, yeah. But
he was a womanizer.
In terms of it, so there's good and bad, but like the media loved him in terms of his opposition to war, man.
Mm-hmm.
And how like the country was united. When he got assassinated, from all the reports I read and stuff, videos I've watched, documentaries and shit. And how he wasn't really, the magic bullet theory wasn't really, it's a farce. It's fake. Like, it's not possible.
Yeah.
They've done the research. They've done the science. Who's the guy? The documentary maker and the director, Oliver Stone.
Yeah.
He made the JFK movie, and then he did the documentary on how, like, none of this shit is adding up.
Mm-hmm.
And despite what people may think about Trump, like, he didn't release all the JFK files. And Biden didn't either, and they won't.
They're never going to.
Because we all know it's gonna. We all know what happened. The CIA killed him.
Yeah.
So JFK at number 2, man, most anti-war president ever.
the best president of all time for as a uniter, like we talked about earlier, President Ronald Reagan.
You think? Well,
no
okay,
man was.
Okay, is he your number 3 then?
Yeah.
We got to go back to have you looked at the electoral map for the two times that he was elected? Bro. Okay.
I think I have, but it's been a while since I saw that.
His second term when he ran, I forget who he ran against.
His first, I do remember before we go there, his first term, he blew Jimmy Carter out of the fucking water. Well, it wasn't close.
Well, I think it was worse the next time. Whoever was after Carter.
Yeah.
Bro, it was either the first or the second time. I think it was the second time. But when Ronald Reagan won, I think it was only Minnesota that he lost and D.C. California voted for him. Mm-hmm. New York voted for him. A Republican, California, New York, Hawaii voted for him. Illinois voted for him.
That map was all red.
Fucking red. Regardless what you think, bro, like you said, a true uniter.
That man made the country want to run through a brick wall for that man.
And then they voted for Bush Sr.
Yeah.
Which is you never have an incumbent president leave and then the same party win after that. You never have that. And if it wasn't for Ross Perot, I think he would have got a second term.
Probably.
Because all of the Ross Perot supporters would have been Bush supporters, and that's how Bill Clinton got in. That's a good number 3.
Yeah.
I like that. Now I have to think.
Let's go with top 3 because
that's a good idea. Okay, we'll do top 3.
It's hurting my fucking head trying to think of.
We'll do top 3.
Okay. Yes, I know I picked all Republicans. But hey,
that's fine. I mean,
if RFK got elected president, he'd be in my top 4.
It's all about what you know, man. It's all about what you know. I'm trying to think of a good number 3 because I don't want to pick Obama. He did win a Nobel Peace Prize, but like in terms of drone strikes and still having all the wars in the Middle East, I don't want to pick him. He does seem like the most presidential, at least for the last couple presidents. I won't pick Bush. Bush is an awful president. The reason we got into Iraq, all the Middle East.
I watched all that shit, and I still can't believe it to this day. It's like we had no business, we had no reason to.
No,
we had no reason to do that.
Give me Theodore Roosevelt at number 3.
Teddy.
Yeah, give me Theodore.
Big Teddy.
Yeah, give me Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay. I'm trying to think of.
Wasn't he the guy that crafted Hold on.
Yeah, look up what he did. Significant.
Well, because I know, but
underrated. Calvin Coolidge.
What did he do?
It's not necessarily what he did. It was just about like him as a character, him as a person. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was the president that he basically said that the government should not have a say in how your everyday life is supposed to go. The government's supposed to govern, and you're just supposed to live your life and shit.
Alrighty, so sympathetic to both business and labor, Roosevelt avoided labor strikes, most notably negotiating a settlement to the Great Coal Strike of 1902. He vigorously prompted the conservation movement, emphasizing use of natural resources.
Yep.
Efficient use, excuse me. I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, both the Roosevelts are awesome.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I know people like, what was it? I think it was Woodrow Wilson. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Who was the president after Roosevelt? Was it Woodrow Wilson? I'm not sure. But whatever, Truman. That's his name. Mm-hmm. It's funny because for a while, I thought, Truman was...
People liked him.
Yeah, people liked him. And I thought the way he handled the end of World War II, that was the only way. It's weird, though, now that I've watched Oppenheimer. Was it the right move?
I still haven't seen it.
You need to.
I have to.
That is the only movie I have ever walked out of. At the end, I was deep thinking the entire time. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't realize any of that shit. I went into the movie I knew who J. Robert Oppenheimer was. I knew he was the father of the atomic bomb. I knew he was in, I knew he had ties with the Russians or the what is it, communists at the time. I knew most of that shit that was going on, but that movie left me it was so polarizing. It was literally the greatest movie I've ever witnessed. You have to witness it in theaters. That's how good it was.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it before it leaves the theaters. It'll be there for a minute.
Yes.
Huh. All right,
Fuck Barbie.
That's our top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it one more time. Fuck Barbie.
Why do you feel like that?
Who asked for that?
I used to play with Barbies when I was a kid.
Of course you did.
But
I played with wrestlers. It's okay, like wrestling action
well,
figures.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool because they represented like people that play with Barbies. Like for example, like Barbie didn't go down steps.
Yeah.
Like it was just like when you take the Barbie out of the house and put her on the ground, and she floated. And when I played with the Barbies, it was a little bit different. I would take their clothes off and look for the nipples, and I never found the nipples. And I just wish that would have been greater represented in the film.
You just were fantasizing about Margot Robbie, weren't you?
I don't even have to. You could just look it up online. I wasn't fantasizing about Margot Robbie. I was just saying, like, that's how I played with Barbies.
That's fair. I never played with Barbies.
Never found the nipple, which was a shame.
Tough place.
I only did that with the white ones, though. We didn't have any black. I mean, it was my grandma's from my cousin. We never had I would have looked for the black one. Anyway, next topic. So no Barbie movie then.
Yeah, I will not go see Barbie. I just have no interest in seeing it. I mean, Margot Robbie, don't get me wrong, she's a dime piece, but
what do you think about the people that say she's mid?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Did you get that? People
who called her mid?
About a month ago, there were people on Twitter that started like a Margot Robbie is mid campaign.
You guys are full of shit.
I think so too. I think they're full of shit.
Full of shit.
Full of shit.
Except she's not my number one.
What do you mean number one?
Like celebrity.
Okay, well I can't do
Fresh.
that. I can't do.
I know you can't.
I do have a girlfriend, but like
I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying.
What would be like your top 5 celebrity crushes?
Jennifer Aniston won.
Oh, you motherfucker! You did say that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would 100% go on a date with Jennifer. Yes.
Now.
That is the greatest looking 50-year-old you'll ever see in your life.
Bullshit. J-Lo's hotter.
Bullshit. I don't think she is.
J-Lo is hotter.
I don't think she is.
Than Jennifer Aniston with all the Botox and the plastic face. At least J-Lo looks good.
I'll definitely put J-Lo in my top 4.
No, if you talk about the hottest 50-year-olds, J-Lo is hotter than Jennifer Aniston. Do we have to do this? Oh, shit. We're going to...
Careful, don't break it.
That's how passionate I am about this. So we're going to do this. We're going to... You guys can decide.
I'm a little biased towards Jennifer Aniston, man. Just a little bit.
Are you a fan of Friends?
Of course.
Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it right there. Listen, Jennifer Aniston, when she was back then. I mean, yeah. Let's do
Jennifer
J-Lo. Jennifer Aniston side by side 2023. Really? Dude, you're telling me, let's blow this up.
No competition. It's Jennifer Aniston. Are you shitting me?
Dude.
You're shitting me.
How do I blow this up? Okay.
I'd still take Jennifer Aniston over J-Lo.
Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. I would.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Really? Look at this right here.
I see it.
All right.
Jennifer Aniston, 100%.
Do you guys really think that Jennifer Aniston, okay?
Call me out on it. I guarantee, I want you to.
Look at this, okay? You can see right here. Look at the wrinkles on her face, okay? Look at that. And what's this?
Look how bright that fucking flash is, man.
Dude, look, she just looks old. She looks like my aunt. No offense, you're not going to watch this. You know, I see my aunt. When I see J-Lo, I see, the complexion. Look at the jawline. Look at the cheekbones. Jennifer Aniston, you know what I see? None. There's no, I see frown marks. I see frown marks as somebody that she takes adrenochrome, which that's another conspiracy right there. But she takes adrenochrome. Go down that rabbit hole. She takes that rabbit hole. How do you take adrenochrome and still look like that? J-Lo, how old do you think she looks, bro?
I can still tell she's above her 40s. So.
She looks 40. Jennifer Aniston, 60. I'm sorry, 60.
I wouldn't go 60.
She looks 60.
Definitely
she looks 60.
50.
She looks 60. She's actually 53.
Full of shit.
She's 53.
You're full of shit.
She's not hot. Jennifer Aniston, what I will say.
My celebrity crush is Jennifer Aniston.
Well, that's
always
fine.
Will be.
You're entitled to your opinion, I guess. But look at this. Look at fucking turkey neck over here. Look at that. You're telling
you managed to find the one bad picture. You managed to find the one bad picture.
I mean, look at that. Look at this. Shit, how do I get it?
Yeah, and how about that one? Huh?
That's worse. Look at fucking turkey neck.
Okay, it looked better from my angle.
Look at turkey. Look at are these wrinkles?
Hey, don't be trashing my girl, man.
Look at these wrinkles on Jennifer Aniston's face. Oh, there's the makeup cup. Oh, it looks worse. Look at that. Ain't that some shit?
Hey, piss off. How about that? Piss off.
I mean,
that's my celebrity crush. I'm entitled to it.
Look at all those wrinkles, all that makeup that's caked on. Look at that. I mean, she looks about the same as some of the girls that are here. That's bad. That's your celebrity crush. Wow. Hey, you know who
I'm not changing it.
You know who my celebrity crush is? My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
That's right.
Good answer.
That's right.
My Good answer, man.
My girlfriend.
Great answer.
That's the greatest answer that you'll ever see or hear, I should say. My girlfriend. 100%. 1,000%, in fact.
There you go.
I don't know about... Do you have an issue with couples saying, you would get one free card, like if there was like a celebrity?
I have massive issues with that.
Me too.
Like no matter what, like I see videos of all the time on TikTok and YouTube. It's just random people going up to random couples and asking if you had like one free pass to cheat on a celebrity, who would you choose? You know, it pisses me off that, people actually answer that. Guys and girls, I've seen both answer it. And I'm like, how disrespectful are you to the entire relationship, to your significant, it's a slap in the face to your significant other.
Yeah.
You know, I have really no respect for people who do stuff like that, because I don't think there's any reason to. You're just inviting controversy into your own relationship.
I agree, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's definitely sketchy. And I can never be somebody like Sean O'Malley, for example. Just had a tremendous fight. Great win over Aljamain Sterling.
Big time win.
But he like openly cheats on his wife or girlfriend, whatever.
He openly does that?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Openly cheats on his wife. And this is like, I make the money.
Then why the hell are you, like,
That's
why get
saying.
married?
Has a kid with her. I don't know if they're married or not. There's articles that call her his wife, but I don't know if that's true or not. Because, some people are like, oh, wifey, but you don't know. But yeah, man,
I'm so against that shit, man.
Or like the Will and Jada Smith shit.
Yeah, like that's something even worse. Like
that's a whole thing.
Like, why do you have to go on national television and talk about your issues? Wouldn't you keep issues like within the family?
There's some things
I didn't respect that at all.
Yeah, there's some things that shouldn't be said on like the internet.
Yeah,
like for me, like I won't say my girlfriend's name. I won't talk about like certain family. Like I said, Jennifer Aniston looks like my aunt. I'm not just saying my aunt's name.
Yeah.
There's certain things that you just shouldn't talk about.
Absolutely. I agree.
A lot of stuff should be private. And I feel like that's the problem with our world now. I mean, there's so much. But a lot of people are clout chasers.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people...
Trend chasers, clout chasers, and everything.
A lot of people want to put issues out there for whatever reason.
That aren't really issues.
Yeah, and they think they'll blow up.
Yeah. Anything for clout.
Yeah. I think I fall into that category, to be honest with you. Just like posting like
I feel like everyone in this generation is guilty of it one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 99% of the people who follow you have TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, everything.
I have a question about this.
Okay.
And this was brought up to me by my girlfriend. We were having a conversation about this, and it was about like social media and stuff. And
real quick, I want to mention this. I find it so funny that people talk to me about relationships shit. Like advice. People ask me for advice.
I mean, you have a platform now.
I have a platform to talk about it, but I'm not in one. I can't say like how great I'd be or anything like that. But I just know what's like. I know the difference between right and wrong, what should or what shouldn't be.
Well, you have a mental health and self-help podcast. That is what it's based on. So people look to you for help, man. You're doing a good job.
I appreciate that.
Very good job, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So,
where were you going?
What do you think about like keeping your kids off social media when they're growing up, compared to the negative side effects of that, where that might be that they have a little bit of social awkwardness because they're not included? What are your thoughts on that? What's like the give and take of that?
So like, I don't think if you are like not in your teens yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, especially growing up nowadays, if you're not even a teenager yet, you shouldn't be on social media. I just don't think that's a thing that should be a thing. Whereas as compared to how I would raise my kids, obviously it depends on, what is social media going to look like 5-10 years from now? Nobody's going to know.
No.
But as far as I'm concerned, I would keep my kids' life off of it, and I would keep basically, here and there I see people posting about their relationship, like just, a couple like maybe in New York City for a weekend, like that stuff, like fine. Yeah. But as far as like genuine issues that are within the family, you'll never see anything like that come on my profile at all.
Now, what are your thoughts? Because I know somebody that's in the situation. My brother's girlfriend's cousin. My brother's girlfriend's cousin is 10, I think, and only child. And she's not allowed to be on TikTok, okay? Like you're saying, not allowed to be on social media. But she, for whatever the reason, feels like left out. Because she doesn't have these things, and maybe she's not in like the Snapchat.
She doesn't feel like she's included.
Yeah, and I think she's like a social outcast a little bit. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, this is what I hear. It might not be true.
I think it's unfortunate. Yeah. I don't think that's how worth should be measured. I mean, if we didn't have social media, none of this would be an issue. That's the problem. Yeah, I don't know genuinely how to fix something like that because I'm not in a kid's position to where if you're not included on social media because your parents won't allow it, again, that's the parents' choice at that time. But at the same time, there's pros and cons to everything. Social media there's goods and bads to social media in general. You meet new people, you become real close with people, but at the same time it dwindles your mental health, and I've noticed that
significantly. I remember being in 6th grade, dude, no fault of any of these people, but like being on Instagram, for example, and seeing pictures of like kids at like parties or whatever, and people your age at parties when you're really young, like 11, 12, that you weren't invited to, man, that's crushing, bro.
Yeah, it's crushing. And
like, here's the thing, like,
I don't know how you fix something like that.
But it's not the other kid's fault. See, it happened to me when I was like 6th, 7th grade, bro. I would resent these other kids, and I would like ask them. I would like want their approval. It was something that like nobody really had been through before like people our age, or like a little bit older than us.
We transitioned into that.
But it's like something that never would have been an issue before, because if somebody had a party, or like,
you only heard about it in school.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, it's fine. But as you're seeing it in real time and you're at home or wherever you are, I mean,
it does something to you.
Yeah, definitely. But, you're going to have to, like, I, was able to process it eventually. Like, oh, it's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. And, you're going to feel down about it. Like, at that age, I get it. But in the long run, it's not going to matter.
But some of these people, the problem is that they resent people like that throughout their whole life, and maybe they become like a social outcast or an outsider, and these emotions continue to grow and continue to develop. And then what happens one day if, their mental health continues to dwindle to the point where somebody at school says something that just pisses them off. Yeah, next day they come to school with a weapon, and
that's how that stuff can happen.
That's the fear.
Yeah, that's how that stuff can happen.
I don't know how that stuff can be solved.
I don't think there is a way, especially when it comes to social media. I don't think there's a way to solve that.
It's so like sad.
It's good luck putting that genie back in the bottle. Like I honestly don't think there's anything you can do at that point. But what I can tell people is this: like, you don't need anyone else's approval in this world. For me, being more of a man of faith, like I only want my approval from God and my Lord and Savior. Yeah, that's it. I don't care about anything else, like whether being approved by society or not. I don't care. Yeah. I don't give a shit what people think of me anymore. Now, granted, it took me years to learn that lesson the hard way. Yeah, a lot of hard work and discipline went into me fixing myself, but it paid off in the long run. I don't care what people think of me anymore. Yeah, I'm myself. I'm gonna be myself. You don't like it? Fuck off.
Exactly.
It's cool.
That's like the best message in the world.
Yeah. You don't like me? Cool. I don't like you either.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a great way to end the podcast. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because that was perfect. That was a great message.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I just want to say, like, I really appreciate you having me on again. It's been a pleasure.
Of course.
I really enjoy these kind of talks, like I said before.
Yeah.
I'm happy you came on my last episode, and I look forward to being on this episode this week.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'm going to try and get it a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Like I said, Thursday at noon, if everything goes well. Going to try and get multiple episodes out per week. We'll see.
See how it works.
But, yeah,
I'm sure it'll go well for you.
Oh, one more thing before I cut this whole thing off. Obviously, this is our last semester at college. We're going to be graduating together.
Yeah.
What's something that you want to tell people that are either deciding on, like, teetering if they should go into college, or people that have just gotten to college about, like, the college experience, like, what it was like after 4 years?
Okay, so I'll start with the first one. Like, people, the younger generation who think they're leaning one way or the other, do not go to college if you don't commit on graduating. If
Definitely.
you are taking out all this money that sticks with you for the rest of your life, no matter what, you have to pay it off. You better be damn sure that you're going to graduate. You got to make sure that you are confident enough in your abilities that you can sit in the same buildings for 4 years on end, sometimes 5 or 6, show up on time, do your assignments, study, and be so disciplined to where it pays off in the end. If you don't have that, if you think you're just going to walk from high school straight into college and change nothing, guess what? You're going to be flunking out. That's just the honest to God truth. I did the same thing, and I know plenty of people who did. They just walked into college and acted like it was high school. Well, guess what? It took me being almost on academic probation and kicked out of this school before I got my shit together. So my message to people is, who are on the cusp or not, be absolutely 100% sure that this is what you want to do, what you want to pursue. Now, it's okay if you don't have your major figured out.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. But if you need to be sure of yourself that this is someplace I want to go and spend 4 years or 5 years of my life. The people, it's not just the institution you're going to. It's the people you're going to meet. It's the stuff you're going to be involved with. Are you willing to do all that? If not, don't go to college.
Yeah.
And then what was the second part that you asked me?
After being in college for 4 years, what is like
the biggest lesson learned?
Well, yeah. How can you summarize your experience in college? Like, what it was like to somebody who's just coming in?
My college experience, it's a little unique just because we went through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to experience something like that.
That's true. Well, the next one's coming.
Knock on wood.
Biden says the next one's coming.
Yeah, shut up, Biden.
But he also cured cancer a couple weeks ago, so really...
Yeah,
according to him. I didn't say it. He said it.
Yeah, clean slate. Thanks, Biden. But, I'll say my overall experience was good.
Yeah.
I was taught a lot of valuable lessons, especially, one thing I really had to learn was humility. I came into this school, you aren't the most popular. You aren't well known. You can't just skid by classes and expect to do well. It's up to you whether you want to show up to classes or not.
Yeah.
Because in high school you're forced to. I learned so much more about the biggest thing. I'll say this: the biggest thing I got out of college was the people I've met and the communication skills I've learned and the life lessons I've learned. I've just matured and grown, even though I was beaten down.
Yeah.
Throughout the past 5 years of my life, I was beaten down. I still learned a lot of valuable life lessons that propelled me to where I'm at right now. And I made the deal with myself that, like I said, my GPA was at a 1.13 at one point. Had no idea if I was going to get kicked out of school or not. I just applied myself and looked at myself in the mirror and realized that I've never been a bad student. I know I have it in me to do something, so I just got to work. And I just decided to own up to everything that I've done, all this stuff that I screwed up, forgive all the people who've hurt me. I just grew and matured, and now I'm one semester away from graduating.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna get our cap and gown and December 17th. That's gonna be it.
Really?
Yeah, December 17th.
I think that's going to be here so soon.
I applied for graduation today.
I applied for it last semester. I was ahead of the curve.
You were ahead of the curve.
I'm just ready to get out of here.
Makes sense. Me too, bro. Me too. Might still use this place as a studio. Probably not, though. I'll have
by then. I'll probably have my own place and my own little studio.
Same. I mean, we do have a studio, but we're just switching it up. Dominic Layko, where can everybody? I'm gonna say it again. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Find me on at the Laykshow, Layk show. That's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. I post every Monday morning.
Definitely go check it out. It's worth it.
And just search Dominic Layko on Instagram. And check my TikTok out. I have quite a few followers on that.
No strikes against his account on TikTok.
None.
Clean slate.
But I'm a different type of content. That's for sure.
To say the least.
You want help with issues? Just come my way.
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
Definitely. I can't help you with your issues. Dominic Layko, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
God bless.